Now, global markets rocketed higher as U.S. President Donald Trump paused his steep new tariffs hours after they took effect. Now, Trump announced a 90-day pause on the most of the new tariffs for every country except China. It was a euphoric Wednesday for Wall Street as U.S. stocks soared to one of their best days in history. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 7.9%, while the S&P 500 index rallied 9.5%. The tech-focused Nasdaq Composite Index jumped 12.2%. Stocks in Asia also rebounded strongly. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 was up 7.2%, while in Seoul, the Kospi was up over 5%. The stocks took off after Trump made the surprise announcement that he has authorized a 90-day pause on the higher tariffs while the baseline 10% will remain. Trump later told reporters that he had been considering a pause for several days. On Monday, the White House had denounced a report that the administration was considering such a move, calling it fake news.
I just want to add, so we're working. But this was something certainly we've been talking about for a period of time, and we decided to pull the trigger, and we did it today, and we're happy about it. I didn't know it would have that kind of an impact, but it's, I think they have the biggest increase in the history of the stock market. That's pretty good.
Trump, however, singled out the world's second biggest economy, China, saying its tariff rate would be raised to 125%. The U.S. president claimed that the reason for punishing tariffs on Beijing was based on the lack of respect.
China wants to make a deal. They just don't know how quite to go about it. It's one of those things they don't know how quite. They're proud people. And President Xi's a proud man. I know him very well, and they don't know quite how to go about it.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also asserted that the pullback had been the plan all along to bring countries to the bargaining table. He claimed that the stock markets did not factor into the president's decision.
We saw the successful negotiating strategy that President Trump implemented a week ago today. It has brought more than 75 countries forward to negotiate. It took great courage for him to stay the course until this moment. And what we have ended up with here, as I told everyone a week ago, they are in this very spot. Do not retaliate, and you will be rewarded. So every country in the world who wants to come and negotiate, we are willing to hear you. We're going to go down to a 10% baseline tariff for them, and China will be raised to 125 due to their insistence on escalation.
Now, Trump's turnabout, which came less than 24 hours after steep new tariffs kicked in on most trading partners, followed the most intense episode of financial market volatility since the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. The upheaval raised trillions of dollars from stock markets and led to an unsettling surge in the U.S. government bond yields. And for more on this story, our correspondent Susan Terani sent us this report. Listen in.
President Trump has escalated his trade war with China, imposing a 125% tariff on Chinese goods following China's retaliatory hike of 84%. And while President Trump did implement a 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs for many countries, China was notably excluded. After this news broke out, billionaire investor Bill Ackman praised the president, calling all of this, quote, brilliantly executed and textbook art of the deal, referring to President Trump's book. Ackman, who had urged President Trump to allow space for these tariffs and negotiations, warned that without a pause, many small businesses could ultimately face bankruptcy. Now, this tariff pause and the announcement also helped ease global market fears. The Dow surged 2,000 points after the announcement. However, it's safe to say that recession fears and concerns loom as the U.S.-China trade standoff intensifies. And what it does is basically exposes economic vulnerabilities. President Trump says that he's confident China will come to the negotiating table. We'll have to wait and see. Susan Termani reporting from New York for WION World is One.